Let me slide in so I can see everyone. Hello, Robin. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Kali, hello to you. And let's see, we've got Kim. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here. We've got Colette. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And we have Margaret. Hello to you. Rise and shine. Thank you so much for waking up with me. Thank you for being here this morning. I mentioned this many times, but I'm doing this Wake Up with Juan first thing Monday morning to kind of organize my week. I've been very productive because of these live streams. I've got my entire week planned, and so therefore by the podcast on Friday, I hope to achieve everything that I set forth in today's live, and maybe more if time permits. So thank you guys. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, I am Juan. I'm a yarn addict, hence the name Juan the Yarn Addict. As you can see, I love all things yarn and fiber related, so if that is of interest to you, feel free to stick around and watch and enjoy the live stream. So the Wake Up with Juans are, I guess, live streams where I just go over my goals for the week. What do I have planned? What am I looking to accomplish? And so, yeah, I've got tons of things all around me here to talk about. So grab yourself something to drink. I've got my coffee. And let's buckle in for a very, very nice, fun live. So, who do we have? Hello to you. Apple Pie Eugenia, hello to you. Frozen Stone, hello to you. Happy Monday morning. For those of you guys who are far, far away, I know it's not Monday morning. Maybe it's Monday evening or Monday night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Anyhow, thank you, thank you, thank you. I need to sip on this coffee. There's nothing like fresh coffee first thing in the morning. I mean, every now and then I do pepper in some tea. I like Bromley tea. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. Yes, I like Bromley tea. And I'm not sure what the flavors are. I just know on the outside of the box, it's Bromley. And that's all I've used growing up. And it's really, really good. And I don't really think there's anything special about it other than the fact that it's tea and it drinks. It's tea, it drinks, it's great. I like it. So, yeah. Hello, Fantabulastic. I love that name, by the way. They say, hello, Juan. Fun to catch my first live with you. Well, thank you so much for being here. And if you like it, consider subscribing if you're not already subscribing. I would definitely appreciate that. Yes. So, okay. Tons of things to go over. Tons of things to talk about. Let's get started. So, first, I kind of want to go over what I've shown already. My progress on my knitted shawl here. This is the Finally Fall knit shawl from Fiberflux Knitting Channel. I'm just showing this in case there are people who haven't seen this yet. This is my progress. For those of you guys that don't know, I am bi-stitchual. I knit and crochet, mostly crochet. We're about 90, 10. But I'm learning. I'm a self-taught knitter, and this is my progress so far. I still have yet to move up this stitch marker. I showed this last night, but I have to graduate my circulars to longer circulars, so that's the next step. I'm going to continue working on this though, but I'm on the purple here. This is a DK weight yarn. This is Lion Brain Mandala, and the colorway is called Guidora. So I'm less than halfway through this cake, and it's going pretty far, if I say so myself, and the colors are absolutely gorgeous. So the needle is a 5.5, so it's a number 9 5.5 knitting needle, and the ball band suggests 3.75, but I went with thicker needles because I want the drape. This is just for a scarf for in the house when it's chilly. So yeah, that's the first thing I have. Let me move this out of the way. It's wrapped around my other work here. Okay, So that's the first thing. I'll put this right here. Okay. The next thing that I have here is a garter stitch scarf. So I've shown this a few times. Let me show you the yarn. So the yarn here is Loops and Threads Soft Class. No, it's not Soft Classic. It's Loops and Threads Charisma yarn. So this is a bulky 5-weight yarn, and they're suggesting a number 9. US, actually it's a 9mm US number 13. So here is my work. So 20 stitches, the garter stitch back and forth. I'm switching between the needles. I'm using Takumi wooden needles, number 13, 9mm. And I am on my 3rd skein, actually 2.5. Yep, so I'm on 2.5 skeins, and I'm trying to get this to go 6.5 feet tall. So when I make my scarves, I like to make them equal to my height. So 6.5 to 7 feet is what I'm looking for, because I like to double them up and make them extra thick. So yeah, where we live here in the northern hemisphere of the United States, it gets very cold. So it's beneficial to have that extra cushion there, you know? Let's see. Fantabulastic asks, do you donate scarves also? Hat and scarf sets? I do, yes. Not as many, because I like to keep some in tow for family and friends. But I do have hat and scarf sets that I am donating. So yeah, very good question. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, and you know what, Naomi? Especially with the garter stitch, if you needle up to thicker needles, it gives you that extra squish factor. It just really makes it nice and squishy, especially with acrylic yarns. I know many people prefer to knit with natural fibers, but some people have allergies. And so, you know, some of us have to be open with knitting with like acrylic and other hypoallergenic materials so that people can actually, you know, be warm too. So anyway, whatever the ball band suggests, I try to needle up a size or 2 just for that extra squishy factor. So yeah, so much fun. Anyway, there's that. So there's 2. The next thing I want to talk about is my Border Academy. So I have a Stitch Academy. If you're new to the channel, I have an entire playlist of different stitches. If you're interested in learning different crochet stitches, I've got a playlist there. It's the JTYA Stitch Academy, Juan the Yarn Addict Stitch Academy. And I've got tons of stitches in there that you can learn. However, recently, because of you guys, the viewership, you guys have been asking me, hey Juan, can you create a playlist and design like borders for blankets and shawls and things? And so I have a new playlist. The very first tutorial was released yesterday. So the JTYA Border Academy. And the first one that I have here is this one. So just imagine this on a larger scale. So think about this middle part being like a blanket. And then this is the border that I created here. So this is called the Crescent Scallop border. I named it myself. So one of the viewers from the UK saw this border and said to me, Juan, it looks like prawns. Ever since that comment happened, I can't unsee it. It looks like prawns to me. But I do like it nonetheless. It's a 1 round border. It's very simple. This is beginner friendly, and I promise that my Border Academy will have tons of different kinds of borders. Beginners, intermediate, advanced, but I also like to think about it like this. Whether you're a beginner or advanced, I do my tutorials in a way that is inclusive so everyone can do it. Even if you have to rewind and replay it, it doesn't matter what your level is, you'll be able to do my tutorials. Just take your time, 1 stitch at a time, you'll be fine. So yeah, very, very nice. And this will work for the granny blanket, obviously. Also, if you have a blanket where you have twins in a stitch, like 2 double crochets, US terms, you can go into the chain spaces with this stitch. It's the crescent scallop stitch, I named it. I mean, yeah, it's very, very nice. And to do this border, you only need to do single crochets, trebles, and chains. And I show you how to do that in the tutorial. So I have this out for both left and right-handed crocheters. My original swatch looks like this. So when I came up with the concept, with the idea, it was created with this. And then I took this and went with this. So I'm keeping all of these just for keepsakes because this is the very first one of the playlist. But stay tuned because as I get them done, they're going to go right onto the channel. All right? So it looks like shrimp from a shrimp cocktail, but I love it. That's too cute. I love it. Hi, Connie. Welcome in. Okay, so I've shown you that. Also, I'm teasing a cowl. So I've got a Sweet Karma cowl that I've designed, and I'm going to be rolling this out as a pattern on my Ravelry first. So stay tuned for this. The only thing that's left is I have to take a picture with it. And I haven't been feeling very well lately, so I wanted to make sure that when I go to take the picture that I look how I feel, you know? So anyway, here is the cowl, Sweet Karma cowl. And it's crocheted in my favorite color, which is purple. The darker the purple, the more I like it. So anyway, the Sweet Karma cowl, and it's an 8-round repeat that repeats 3 times, and it measures, well, you know how it looks. Okay, now I'm gonna take it off and show you. So it measures yes, it measures 12 inches this way and 11.5 inches this way. So if you want, you can actually take this and do another repeat and make it into like a snood to make it go over your head. So some of you guys have asked when you've seen this earlier on, but yes, you can continue making this into like a snood if you want. But for me, I'd want to be able to wear it inside and outside of, you know, if necessary. So the yarn that I used, I'm not sure if it's available in your country, but for those of you guys who are outside of the US, this is Premier Karma ombre yarn, and it's air spun yarn. So this yarn here is a blend of acrylic, cotton, and nylon, and it's hand wash, lay flat to dry. I'll give you a close-up of what that looks like. It's a beautiful purple colorway there. Now, the ball band suggested a 6.5 US letter K crochet hook. I actually hooked down to a 6mm hook. I really wanted this to be nice and tight. So that's kind of what we got there. So it's a lot of fun to make, and it only required 275 yards of yarn. So not much for a cowl, actually. Very, very nice. Thank you guys so much for your kind words. Yes, so, all right, so there's that. Okay, so as far as goals for the week, like what am I looking to accomplish? I'm going to be bouncing around a lot because I've got a lot here. So I'm obviously looking to complete this by the podcast on Friday. And for those of you guys who don't know, I actually post a weekly podcast on Fridays. So mark your calendars. Every week on Friday, I do a podcast. And in that podcast, I do my finished objects, my works in progress. I do any acquisitions that I get. I talk about, let's see, what do I talk about? My premiere feature. So I feature premiere yarns. Each week is a different yarn that I showcase. And then I do replay treats. So I do like little giveaways each week for just like a little thank you for watching. And then just basically like a recap of the week. So if that is of interest to you, mark your calendars. It's every Friday. And my podcasts are somewhere in the realms of 30 minutes to 45 minutes long. So I believe we are going on podcast number 110. I can't believe it. 110. So there's already 109 podcast episodes. There's tons for you to watch if you want to just watch all kinds of crochet and knitting content. It's so good. I love that for us. Fair warning though, the earlier episodes aren't as polished as the ones more recent. Like everything else, practice makes perfect, you know? So anyway, actually, no, not perfect. Practice makes better. So I still feel like there's things I could work on. So yeah, anyway, I'm getting distracted. So I have that garter scarf that needs to be done. I'm not going to get this done by this Friday, my finally fall knit shawl. It's not going to be done by Friday, but I'm going to continue working on that. It's going to be a work in progress. So there's that. Also, there's this book that was gifted to me. It's been autographed by the author. Kristen McDonald is the author of this book, and it's called Knit Stitch, 50 Knit and Purl Patterns. So Debbie, she's known as the Pink Flamingo here on YouTube. She sent this to me in Happy Mail. And so my goal here is to create swatches. I want to create like a little Rolodex of little knit swatches so I can reference and go back to. I'm teaching myself how to knit. So it's got tons and tons of different stitches here for me to learn from. And here's what the back looks like. A bunch of swatches. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start at the very beginning. The first one here, I know it's reading backwards, but the first one here is the garter stitch, which I already know how to do. But just for purposes of my own training, I'm going to create a swatch of the garter stitch. And then by this Friday, I also want to have this one done here. And this one here is the stockinette stitch. So once I have this done, I'll put it in its own little container, and I'll have like a little history of my little lessons here. And each week I want to try and get one of these swatches done. And it moves on to the rib. So we've got a 1x1 rib, a 2x2 rib. I really want to get good at my knitting because my ultimate goal is to knit my own sweater. So I feel like I can't really do that unless I learn the basics. And all of this in here is what I feel like I need to learn. So yeah, I'm looking to get that done. Sip on the coffee. Juan, that looks like Greek to me. Me too. I'm still trying to figure it out. Listen, I'm learning, you know, self-taught. I just have to remember to go slow, take it one little bit at a time. And if I don't understand it, search the internet. Figure out what part of it I don't understand and type it in the search box and like figure it out, you know? And hopefully I figure it out. If not, I'll reach out to all of you guys on the YouTube streets. Maybe there's someone out there that could help me, you know? Good morning, everyone who's peppering in. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Thank you for waking up with Juan. You'll have to practice the purls. I know, Snowy Cat, and I'm not very happy about it. I'm not happy about it, but you know what? I have to start somewhere. If I'm going to achieve my goal of being able to knit my own sweater, I have to purl. Even if I don't like it, I know I'm going to have to do it. So, yeah, not proud of it. Colette is asking, what is the name of the book? It's called Knit Stitch. Knit Stitch, 50 Knit and Purl Patterns. And the author is Kristen McDonald. It's a spiral bound book, and there are 80 pages. There's 80 pages here, and the very last pattern, which I think is absolutely amazing, is large triangles. Look at that. So good. I look at this and it looks like a foreign language to me. It says K7, P1, K6, which I think it says knit 7, purl 1, knit 6, row 2, purl. Actually, I do understand this. I guess I just have to figure out how to translate what I'm reading into my hands and make it work for my hands. Good luck with that. Oh, so good. With practice, purling becomes easy and second nature. I hope so, Mary, because I really want to knit my own sweater. Listen, I will feel like I've accomplished the world if I can come onto my channel right here and present a completed sweater that I knit myself. I mean, to me, that would be much more of an accomplishment than achieving over 100,000 subscribers on my channel. That would mean the world to me. I'd be so proud, even if it's cattywampus and all weird looking, at least I did it, you know? My first one, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to be able to go through the process and do it. Juan, most knitters say one stitch at a time. I say that in crochet too. I say that all the time. Okay. So last night, I think, I mentioned that I was inspired by my mom. She created this blanket that I helped her with. I'm going to show you the blanket. Let me move the skeins of yarn first. Okay, so this was a donation. This is a donation blanket. You guys have seen this. I put this on the last podcast on Friday. I was inspired by this to create my own, and it was suggested to me by one of our viewers that I take my vintage variegated discontinued yarn and create the same thing. And so I said, you know what? I think that's an amazing idea. I think I even said that on the live stream. So I was very excited to get this started. So I did the mathematics, I did my calculations, I did a swatch, and so I have come prepared with all the information. You guys ready for this? I'm still trying to digest all this information. So here are the two original squares that I did as a practice run. I used a charcoal gray, and the colorway in the middle here is called Wedgwood. It's a Red Heart Super Saver discontinued vintage variegated yarn from the late 80s. So that was the swatch. In order to make a queen size blanket, which measures 90 inches by 102 inches, I need 1,020 of these, okay? Which is not impossible. It's just a large order. I mean, it's a large number, right? 1,020 to make a queen size blanket, all right? And I've made the decision because I was uneasy about how I was going to do this. Do I do a join as you go, or do I just make my squares and then connect them after the fact? I've made the decision to make my squares and then join them later, because I may get busy, I may decide to not want to complete it or whatever. I can't predict the future. So I'm going to continue pushing forward on this with the hopes of being able to complete it. If for whatever reason I'm not able to complete it, I'll join what I have and donate the blanket. But the goal is to make this for my house, for me. I want this. So anyway, I didn't get much sleep last night because I was inspired. For those of you guys that know this, I have designer brain. Like, I can't rest if I have things on my brain. I don't know why that is. I just can't. I try. I take melatonin. I do all the things, but I just can't sleep when I'm excited about a concept, when I'm excited about an idea. So let me tell you guys. Wait, let's see. We have good morning, everyone. What is the name of the book? So I will mention it again. Feel free to catch the replay after this, okay? So it's called Knit Stitch. Knit Stitch, 50 Knit and Purl Patterns. And the author is Kristen McDonald. Kristen McDonald. All right? So here is the Wedgwood. Red Heart Super Saver. This is, again, a discontinued vintage variegated yarn. You can see I put some work into this skein. And it's It's beautiful. I mean, I really do like these colors here. Very nice. Anyway, these were the little examples. I decided to not use gray. I wanted to stick with the black. So here are 3 little examples. Oops. So I kind of like how it looks with the black. I'm loving the contrast a little more. So I've done 3 of them. I made sure that the measurements were the same, and they are. So I need 1,020 of these. Okay? So here's the thing. I stayed up and crocheted 50 of them. I've got 50 in my little bin here, including these. I have 50. So based on the colorways that I have in my stash, I need 50 of every colorway. Well, 50 of the colorways that I want to use. So I have the yarn. I just decided that I'm going to include 50 for every colorway and then 20. Like the final colorway will only have like 20 squares, and that's it. So I have 50 done since last night. I'm going to put the black on, obviously, but the goal here for me for Wake Up with Juan is I'm going to plan on getting the black around all of these colorways and then in a sandwich baggie, and I want to get started on the next colorway. So that's my goal for Friday. That's what I have written down on my sheet anyway. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So if I can get black around these squares, we're golden. Anything beyond that is a plus. So, yes. And then, of course, I don't know what to make with this. I've already cut off the knots and all, so amigurumi stuffing maybe? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to show you some of the colorways that I picked from my stash to just show you like the idea that I have with the colors that I'm pulling for this blanket. So here is one of the colorways. This is Red Heart Wind Tuck. You can tell by the ball band how old this is. This is a discontinued vintage variegated yarn from the 50s. This is very old yarn. Love this. And it's called Shaded Red. Shaded Red. Absolutely gorgeous. So I have extras, but I need 50 little squares. So if I need to pull another one, I have about 7 of these. So I'll use however many that I need for that. So yeah, I got to make 50 of these, 50 of every colorway. And then at the very end, once I have 1,000 squares, then I'm going to make 20 of whatever color I have left. All right. The next one that I have here is called Desert Camo. So Desert Camo, greens and all. I mean, it's very plain, but with these vibrant, bright colors, it offers really nice contrast. So I feel like we need a balance here between colors like this and colors like this. So I think it'll look nice in the grand scheme of things. So very excited about that. The next colorway I have here is called Banana Berry. Super nice colorway there. Look at how nice this looks next to each other. The contrast between those two. I mean, yeah. There's going to be 20 different colorways in this blanket. So I'm not too hung up on just 1 or 2. In the grand scheme of things, I feel like it'll all blend together. It'll make sense later on. For now, I just need to get 50 of every colorway that I have in stash, that I know of anyway. So yeah, good morning, Joyce, Joanne, welcome in. So yes, Banana Berry, this is Red Heart Super Saver, Banana Berry. This here is called Desert Camo, Red Heart Super Saver. And then I have one more over here as an example to share with you. Stay on the table. This here is called Wind Tuck Ombre Yarn. So Wind Tuck Ombre Yarn. This was from Kmart, and it was $1.37. Wow. And I don't know if the date on here is accurate. It says 1983. It says 1983 on the ball band here. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, 1983. So yeah, those are the colors that I have. And I just have to look at this as one color at a time. Don't push myself too hard on this, because sometimes with projects like this, I do get overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, I've got too much going on. I need to stop because I'm stressed out about it. So I don't want to do that. One color at a time. Right now, we're all about Wedgwood. I've got the color done. I'm going to cake this up and use this for my ripple blanket that I've got going on. Which, again, that's why I have multiple projects going, because my goal is to deplete my inventory of the vintage variegated yarn. I want some really good, memorable pieces for my house. So I've got the Ripple Afghan going. It's 400 stitches across, and 4 rows of each color takes up 3.5 ounces of yarn. So I'm just going to continue going until I have the size I need for that. And then I have these. So between both of those, 2 queen size blankets, I think I'm going to work through my yarn just fine. So absolutely wonderful. So that's what I have there. I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to the chat. I'm just doing this. Could you just take the gray border off the other ones to salvage the Wedgwood? I could. The way that I have this knotted, though, if I cut through this, then I'm wasting this gray yarn. So I could. I did crochet my 50, though. So I still have, I have what I need. I don't need these extra 2 pieces. So we'll see. I'll put them in the bin just in case. All right? Love that. So another project that I have in mind for this week, I have these leftover skeins just laying all over the place because I'm making a 2-bit granny. If you've seen it, it's pretty substantial at this point. I started it just last week, and we're already at 45 inches across. It's flying off the hook. But I'm left with these leftover skeins. I've got a bunch of colors that, you know, I've tapped into. Anyway, I'm thinking about doing a join as you go granny for a donation blanket this week. By the way, my season for Camp Boggy Creek is over. I've done my blankets. However, I do want to continue making donation blankets. And my goal here is just to do 1 per week. So whatever that looks like. If I manage to do more than 1 donation blanket a week, great. But for me, I don't want to pressure myself into rushing through making like 6 blankets a week like I did these past couple of weeks. I don't want to have to do that. So to avoid that, I'm just going to do 1 donation blanket a week. In the grand scheme of things, if I do 1 blanket a week, that's 52 blankets per year, you know? So I like that for us. So maybe a join as you go granny is going to be for this one. So the clock, the counter will be reset back at 1. So 76 blankets were donated for this season. This blanket that I create for this week is going to be blanket number 1, and it's going to be separate from everything else, and I will showcase it on the podcast. If I manage to do more than 1, great. If not, at the very minimum, I just want to make sure that I have 1 donation blanket per week done. Okay? So yes, this is a live stream. I do apologize, guys. I know it can seem like a regular video because I'm not really paying attention to the chat. So anyway, I do apologize. Oh, let's see. Fantabulastic, are your videos numbered? My podcast are numbered. My Whipping It with Wands are numbered. Certain videos are numbered, but live streams are not numbered. No. Okay. So hello to everyone peppering in. My idea of the ideal granny square blanket is 2 by 3, 6 big squares. I love that too. I mean, if you think about it, so 2 by 3, if you're making, well, I guess if you're making it for like a traditional donation blanket, if you're doing 40 by 50, it would be, I don't know how you would do that. Or you'd make them a little smaller and then put a border around them. There you go. Yeah, I can see that. You do like 15-inch squares. So 15 and 15 is 30, right? So 15, 15, and 15, that's 45. And then just do a border around that. So you've got, yeah, that would make sense. Yep. That's totally doable, for sure. This coffee is amazing. Oh my goodness. First thing Monday morning, good cup of coffee, good yarn chat, love it. It's all the things. Some of the things that I really need to get moving on, I have this crochet kit. I've shown it a few weeks ago. I kind of want to show you guys where I'm at with it. It's a Mary Maxim crochet kit that I started a few weeks ago. Here is what the pattern looks like. Where am I at? I am on round, I think I'm on round 30. I've made some progress, but this is a Mary Maxim Country Pathways Afghan. So there's the picture of it. Their example is in blue, mine is in purple. So I'll show you that. And I'm right here in the middle, okay? Give you a close-up of that. And here's where I'm at. So I'm using a 5mm Clover or more hook. I'm sorry, a 5.5 US letter I. And as I mentioned, I think I'm on round 29 or 30. I'll have to check the recipe. At this point, it's got me working with 2 different colors at the same time. Like, I've got 2 colors attached to my work. I've got purple on this side and I've got white on this side. I have no idea. That's what the recipe is calling for. Anyway, wrong side. This is where I'm at with it. Let me back up a little bit. So yeah, I'm liking it. I do have to tell you, as a crochet designer myself, I am picking apart this design. They could have done a few things a little differently. It's causing some rippling with the way that they're laying out their stitches. And, you know, again, I'm just going with the flow. I'm having fun with this. I'm not being hypercritical, but as someone who writes patterns and creates designs in crochet, I will tell you, whoever designed this made some boo-boos in the corners. But I followed it anyway, because that's what the recipe calls for. And I say all this to say, not every recipe is 100% perfect. It's just how it goes. I mean, mistakes are inevitable. Mistakes do happen. And I'm not going to be a Karen about it. No offense to the Karens in the audience. I'm just enjoying crochet for the sake of crochet. So the yarn that I'm using is Mary Maxim Maximum Value yarn. Let's take one of these out. I didn't mean to sound facetious, but this is the Mary Maxim. It's a medium 4-weight yarn. They are suggesting a 4.5 US number 7mm knitting needle, but a 5mm crochet hook. So I've got like medium purple, dark purple, light purple, and white. So there's that one. There's that one. There's that one. Whoops. So those are the colors. And you can already tell I absolutely love this blanket. Imperfections and all. I love it all. So I'm going to proceed forward until I'm done. And again, I'm showing you this because I want to make progress on this before Friday. So when I show this on Friday's podcast, I want to show some progress. Setting little goals for myself, right? Love it, love it, love it. Okay, the next thing that I'm looking to accomplish by Friday's podcast is I need to move the needle on my blanket, my Nova Crest blanket that's featuring Premier yarn. I recorded my tutorial with this particular blanket. I've crocheted on it very little. I was so focused on getting Boggy Creek blankets done that I left it to the wayside, and now I'm picking it back up. I need to get it done. And let me show you where I'm at with it. It's being held in my Lighthouse bag. Absolutely love this bag, by the way. It's one of my many favorites. Okay, so let's go in here. Oh, thank you so much, Fantabulastic. They say, I love the variety of the yarn brands. Yes, I like my hands in all of the yarn. The more, the better. Because, I mean, how can you really be a yarn addict if you're not wanting to play with all of the yarn, right? So, yes, I love all the yarn. All yarn is good yarn, by the way, guys. Here's where I'm at with my pattern. This is my pattern. It's called the Nova Crest Star Blanket. It's a 13-point star blanket, and it's got lots of fun texture there. And the yarn that I'm using is ombre yarn. So this is from Premier Yarns. Premier worsted value ombre. I'm going to show you the yarn now. So I'm currently on white. So Premier Just Yarn in white. This skein from Premier Yarns comes with 875 yards, 800 meters. That's a lot of yarn for one skein. And this is only $5, $5 US. So I love a good deal in a steal, by the way, guys. So the two colorways that I have in my blanket are, this is Premier Just Yarn worsted value ombre in denim. Look at that beautiful colorway there. Absolutely gorgeous. I paid $5 for this. So squish and all the things. I like squeezing the yarn. I don't know why. And then the next colorway here is called Mustard Ombre. Isn't that just dreamy? I love that. And then what's better is these together. It's just so nice. I love it so much. Again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I am crocheting this with a, I think this is a 5.5 or a 6. I'll have to replay the video back to see in the tutorial. I think I used a 6mm Clover or more hook, or a 5.5. One of the two, but I have to check the tutorial because the hook that I had in here is not in here. It decided to jump out of the bag and run away. AKA, I needed it for another project. So, oh, thank you guys so much. Juan, sometimes Dollar Tree has a Premier Just Yarn for $5. Yes. Yep. And when they do, when I see it, I snag it up. I take it. I love that for me and for us, right? When I get a lot of it, I like to share it with the channel. I put it in the share yarn boxes. I've done that in the past. So I have 2 knit whips here that I need to get on the needles. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time this week to get working on them, but I'm going to definitely try. So let me just show you guys, for those of you guys who haven't seen these. So this project is being held in my Deb Dow duffel tote. We've got a bunch of squirrels on there and acorns on the top. So it's called a duffel tote because the top closes like a duffel bag, like this, like a drawstring, to hold your work in, to keep it from, you know, falling out. So on the inside here, hi Kitty Lane, welcome in, good morning. So this one here I haven't touched in a few weeks, and I really do need to make some progress on this. So I'm using Chago. Speak one. Chalgu red lace fixed circulars. And the pattern here is from Aberdeen Wool. So in Canada, they've got a company up there called Aberdeen Wool, and in their pickle jar is this shawl pattern. It's called the Bias Scarf. It's a free pattern that you can find on Ravelry. And I decided to use my local sheep farm yarn first because there's some really loud colors in that pickle jar, and I wanted something for myself right now. So it's a very simple repeat pattern, but it is a worsted value. It's a worsted weight yarn, and I have the specs written down, but of course they're not here. It's Tamarack Farm, and yeah. Hold on one second. I think I have, do I have the labels nearby? No, I do not. Oh well. I thought I had it nearby. No worries. So yes, it's oatmeal, winter rose oatmeal or something like that. So this is 100% Shetland wool. So hand wash, lay flat to dry. And I've got 2 cakes of this, and each cake is 200 meters, or 200 yards, sorry. It's being held in my organza bag. The poor skein. Cake, skein. Anyway, I'll speak more to it on the podcast. I'll be sure to be better prepared. So that is going inside there. And then finally, I have one more project that I need to get moving on. I've had this on the needles for such a long time. 6 months to be exact. I've had this on the needles. 6 months. I'll tell you why there's a delay. Okay. There's a justifiable reason, I feel. So this here is my Mary Maxim triangle wrap. So this was one of my knit kits. I'm part of their knit kit club of the month, and they sent this 6 months ago. I put this on the needles, and this is my progress so far. I guess I can show you half at a time. It's pretty substantial at this point. Here's the thing. I went to my local LYS with the original needles that I began with for this project. They took the gauge and they measured my needles, and I hate to say this, but I think they gave me the incorrect size, because I came home and I measured my needles, and the needles measured in at 6.5 millimeters. The ones they gave me are 6. So I went ahead and ordered the correct needles, and I'm waiting for them to come in. So I don't want to go too far with the wrong needle size, because I've made so much progress so far with this, and I want this to be done correctly. So the yarn that I'm using for this, for those of you guys who haven't seen this yet, is gemstone. So this is Red Heart gemstone yarn. I'm going to show you the cake. This is 100% acrylic. Yes, I do knit with acrylic. I'm a yarn addict, so I will knit and crochet with whatever I can get my hands on. I am not, particular about any of the things. I just love working with it. So the colorway is called Amber, and this is the ball band, although it's going to show backwards for you guys. But this is the ball band, and this is the picture of the shawl from Mary Maxim. So the yarn that came with this kit I have in stash. I actually do not like the yarn because it's more of like a ribbon and not like yarn. So I tried it. I made a huge mistake on it, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna read the elephant in the room. I don't need to be working with this yarn. Let me find yarn that I would like to work with. And so I found this bulky 5-weight yarn. This is a bulky 5-weight yarn. Love working with it, so good. The other thing that I want to say is the needles that I currently have on the project that are the wrong size. These are Knit Pro needles, and They're nice needles, but I don't think these needles work well with acrylic, in my opinion. I think these needles work really well with natural fibers, not really good with acrylic. So I'm gonna stick with my ChiaoGoo red laced fixed circulars because I feel like they just work better. I'm getting a lot of friction with these needles. So that's why it's been sitting here waiting to get done. I placed the order yesterday because I said, you know what, Juan? You got to get moving on these projects. And I say all that to say, if you've been around, there was a time where I had like 25 whips. I seriously had 25 whips. I've done multiple videos about them. And now I'm just sitting here with a handful of whips, just a handful, which is monumental for me because I'm not used to having so little whips. I'm used to having tons of different whips. I almost feel like I need to create more whips just because these are things that I could be talking about, you know? I miss having a lot of whips. Actually, no, I don't. Who am I kidding? Oh. Anyway, how are all of you guys today? I don't know if I asked you that. How are all of you? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful morning so far. I know it's just getting started. Hopefully this will be the pick-me-up that you need to get your day started. I know it is for me. Way to go, no, stick to what you're doing. I agree. I don't want to sit here and be overwhelmed with all the whips. I remember what that feeling was, and I don't like that. You know, I'm like, I have so much work, I'm not going to get it done and all the things, you know? Too stressful. Hi, DiVicino. But want to give yourself grace. You have been so busy cleaning out and packing up. This is true. For those of you guys that don't know, I am in the process of cleaning up these yarn rooms and getting everything organized, and I'm destashing and I'm packing up my retirement yarn and I'm putting it away, and I just inherited yarn from my mother, so I'm trying to figure out what to do with all of that. And she's got quite the stash as well. Years and, well, actually decades of yarn. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with all of it. And so, yeah, a lot of time has been spent on trying to organize yarn. I've done some bagging videos here. I've even posted in the post tab. Do you guys like to see those kinds of things? So I will be doing, I mean, you guys responded very, very unanimously, like almost 90% to 10% in favor of these bagging videos. So I will be doing that. I'll bring you to the yarn room. We're going to sit in the yarn room, and I'm going to pull different shelves out, different yarns like Premier, Red Heart, Mary Maxim, Hirschner's, and just start bagging and organizing the colors and things. And then the colorways that I don't want, I'm going to put to the side, and I'm either going to donate to the channel for share yarn, or I'll put it in my Etsy store for sale. So stay tuned. Good morning, Deborah. Welcome in. Fantabulastic says, your videos have inspired me so much to get back into crochet and knitting after a wonderful fishing season. I love that. That's so awesome. It's so good. To be inspired is definitely a great feeling. I know for me, when I'm inspired, I feel like I can accomplish the world. So even if I can't, at least the thought is there, which is super nice. So thank you for that. That's very kind. You like the bagging videos because it allows you to talk freely while you're bagging. Yes, I can't tell you how relaxed I am when I'm doing that. If you look at my podcast videos, like my podcast episodes and my bagging videos, I am super relaxed when I'm bagging up yarn. I just feel like, you know, when I'm doing my podcasting, I just have to make sure that it's as polished as I possibly can because it's my journey. You know, and I have to speak to the things that I've accomplished, the things that need to be done, the things that I've, you know, obtained in acquisitions. I just want to keep a level of professionalism there. But when it comes to my bagging videos, it's like recess. Let's pull all the yarn down. Let's play with all the things and pull out the tape, and there's ASMR and all the things. I love that for us. Good morning, everyone coming in. You're addicted to the boxy cardigan. Mal finished the second one yesterday. I love that, Brigitte. That's so cool. I love that for you. when I made mine, so I made mine thinking that the stitches would settle into my size. The stitches settled and it wound up being too big. It's already a biggie, like a big boxy cardigan, but I'm an extra large and I crocheted using my favorite top, which was an extra large, but for some reason it became a 2X. And while I don't mind the 2X, it's a very loose 2X. So I may actually donate that or something, I'm not sure. But I want to make another one a little smaller so that when the stitches settle, I can feel comfortable and relaxed in it. So, yeah. Brigitte says, I hate the sleeves, but not giving up. I agree with you. There's plenty of people out there who watch the channel who have said to me, Juan, I hate doing the sleeves. You're not alone there. The sleeves are not fun to do. But the biggest piece of advice that I can give those of you who don't care for the sleeves, stitch markers are your friends. Just use your stitch markers, know where you've made your decreases, and just keep track of your stitch counts. So at the very last decrease on one sleeve, make sure that when you go to do the next one, you have the same number of stitches. So therefore, you won't wind up with one big sleeve and one not so big sleeve. That's happened to me. Let's see, I crochet while we salmon fish out in the boat on the river. I'm now the lady who crochets out on the river. I have also been able to pass blankets on to others. That's so great. I love that. That's amazing. Or make a poncho. I love that idea too. Yep. So yeah, my boxy cardigan came out too big as well. I get so many compliments when I wear it. I love it. Yeah. When I wore my larger ones, I have ones that are 5X, 6X, 7X. Believe it or not, I used to be that big. And I still wore it. Even when I was a 2X, you know, or a 3X, I still wore those super large boxy cardigans. And everyone on the channel was like, oh my God, Juan, you need to do a tutorial on that. We need that. And for a year, I kid you not, for an entire year, people were like, Juan, we want that. We want that. Can you please do it? And so instead of doing like a formal tutorial, I did it as a make along. And I didn't want to be constricted with sizing and stitch counts. So I gave the recipe out in the videos and said, listen, this is how I construct my cardigan. If you want to make this, this is how you should do it. And yeah, it went really well. Vivian was one of those people. So yeah, there's tons of people that wanted that. And while I feel like I could have done things a little differently, I'm very happy with the way that it rolled out, because at least it allowed many people to watch those 4 videos and kind of get an idea on how to construct this thing that we've been wanting for so long. So I just basically gave you guys the building blocks, and then you took it from there and just constructed it using the knowledge that you had. Believe it or not, many people who sit here and watch these podcasts, me included, you guys are really good with your stitches. I mean, we have a lot of new folks, but there's plenty of people that can very easily do a double crochet and make chains. And, you know, so it's not a foreign concept to many people who watch. You know, a lot of what people need to know and why people watch tutorials is the little simple things that we forget. Like, for instance, when you're doing a double crochet back and forth, many people ask this. When I finish the row and I chain 3 and I turn my work, do I go into that first stitch or do I skip that first stitch? And do I go into the second one? Those are the little things that people watch tutorials for, and they want to know just so that they don't forget, like little reminders. And I know that. So I'm like, well, what's the point in doing a whole tutorial when a lot of people who want a cardigan, they know how to do a double crochet. They're not foreign to that concept, you know? So yeah, so good. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. Even if it is for just a little bit. I'm only going to be on for a few more minutes, but I do want to tell you guys that I have a lot planned for the week, a lot that I need to accomplish here. I've set forth my goals. I've shown you guys the work that I would like to get done for the week. Fingers are crossed that not only do I accomplish this, but I exceed the expectation. I think there was one thing that I forgot to mention. Tomorrow is Taco Tuesday. So maybe Kim has mentioned it in the chat. I think she did. She's usually on top of that more so than I am. But tomorrow is Taco Tuesday, and we are in season 4. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. So every Tuesday, we pull little tidbits of things out of the jar. We spin the wheel. We do all of these challenges, and these things are meant to be little projects in between all the things that we're doing. So I don't know about you, but like if I'm making 1,020 squares for a blanket, I'm going to want to take a break. I'm going to want to work on something else to give me a break from this. That's the point of Taco Tuesday. And every week we pull out different projects, and some are really outlandish, like the one I still laugh at it because I don't have any pets, but one of the choices was to make a hat for a pet. And I mean, yeah. So here are the cards. I rewrote them to make them nice and neat. So we had 2 People's Choice and 2 jar cards, okay? So the 2 People's Choice cards, the first one here is called Turkey Time. Create a turkey make. Be creative. So you can make a turkey amigurumi, you can make a turkey pot holder, you can make a turkey whatever you want, but turkey has to be front and center, all right? The next one for People's Choice is make a hat for a pet. And I'm like, well, what does that look like to me? You know, I've had pets in the past, but if I make it, I mean, I don't know. I don't see a purpose in that. So anyway, we pulled 2 cards out of the jar. So we have make a holiday ornament, which is really nice because it's seasonal. Like we're getting into the crux of the holidays, making ornaments. And then the next one here is make a holiday stocking. Use any color of choice. Those are the challenges, and for me, I have to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not super inspired by these challenges, but that's okay. That's the fun of this. Like, you don't have to do any of them. You can literally just come to Taco Tuesday and hang out and have a good time. That's literally it. If you decide to do it, great. If not, that's perfectly okay too. In fact, this may be the very first week that I come on to Taco Tuesday and I don't have most of them done. I'm just not... for transparency, I don't have any pets, so I'm not interested in doing the hat for a pet. Just keeping it clear here. I'm not decorating for the holidays. For those of you guys who don't know, my mom recently went completely blind, and I only did decorating for Christmas for her. And so now that she can't see any of the decorations, there's really no point in doing it. So there's no need for a stocking. There's no need for an ornament. So those are out. The only thing that I have left is Turkey Time. Create a turkey make. And so if I do any of them, it might be this one. So again, no harm, no foul. It doesn't matter. You could do one, you could do them all, or none at all. I love that. But, you know, people are asking me for tutorials for these things. If I have the time, I will do it. If I don't, I'll point you in the direction of where a good resource is. So I will try my best, but no promises here because I have work that needs to be rolled out to the channel. So, yeah. But Juan, you finished so many whips. This is true. I did take care of a lot of whips, you know, and that might be one of the ones that I do finish by tomorrow. I may pick a whip, have it done by tomorrow. Stay tuned. My mom did crochet. She crocheted for about 50 years. She recently had to stop because she's completely blind. So she's also deaf. She can't hear, she can't speak, and now she can't see. So she's full 100% care. We have nurses coming in 6 days a week to help me take care of her. So she's full care. And I recently acquired all of her yarn, so I'm fusing in her stash with mine, and I'm trying to figure out like what to do with all of it. So it's a big undertaking, but we can do it. Let's see. You even crochet when we all sleep. Yes. I've been up since 1:30 this morning crocheting. Yep. I went to bed at 10:30 or 11 o'clock and woke up at 1:30 and started crocheting. So I've been up for a while. I'm good to go. I am wired for sound. I've got coffee for days. I'm really good. And I'm in good spirits because it's Monday. I love Mondays because of what I have planned for the channel. It's the longest day of my work week because, you know, I've got the day job, I've got the channel, I've got mom. But let's see, I have this live here, and then I record a Whipping It with Juan. Every Monday I record a Whipping It with Juan. So I've got that whole playlist, guys. If you need a crochet buddy, go to that playlist. There's tons of videos in there. Whipping It with Juan. I pull a whip, I work on it, I talk to you about all the things. Also, we have a members only live tonight, this evening. We do a members only, it's members only Mondays. So either it's a video or it's a live stream. Those are Mondays. And then I may, on certain Mondays, go live late at night. So it's a really long day for me, but well worth it because I just love getting started for the week. So yeah. You wish you had my energy? Sometimes I say that to myself. Hey, Juan, what happened to that energy that you had? Where did that go? Because some days that's not the case, I promise. I turn into a complete vegetable sometimes. I'm like, I don't want to move. I'm just so tired, you know? It happens. Kimberly M hasn't been to bed yet. Wow. That's amazing. I love that. I know you probably missed my comment, but I suggested you make a hat for Sasha for your purple cat. You know what? I didn't think about that, Steven. And hello to you. Thank you. I didn't think about that. I guess I do have something I can make a hat for. Let's see. Fantabulastic asks, what is the cost of membership? So I have a lower tier of 99 cents a month, and that gets you like members only videos and live streams and things. And that helps support the channel by way of postage. So I take the 99 cents minus whatever YouTube takes, and I apply that for postage for our monthly giveaways. And then the top tier is Official Yarn Addict, and that's $4.99. And you get the members only videos and lives and things, but you also get 2 Zoom meetings a week with me where you can show your work and talk about your whips and things. And then we have a stitch and chat, so we pick different topics and we discuss. And then you also get a free pattern, a free written pattern that I design every month. So I have an actual business outside of YouTube. It's called JTYA Designs. It's an LLC. And I design patterns and things like that in crochet and outside of crochet. I design. And so every month you get a free pattern that you have exclusively for 2 weeks before I put it on my Ravelry. So once it goes on to my Ravelry, most times the cost of my pattern is more than the membership. So if you're into reading patterns and things, the pattern itself is worth the membership. I'm just saying. So I've had patterns go out for $7.99 and your membership is $4.99, and like, you just made out because not only are you getting the free pattern, but every week for the entire month you have 2 Zoom meetings, and then once a week you have a live stream with me, or members only videos. I do a lot for my members on my channel. But anyway, that's what's in the membership. You asked, so there you have it. Dragon, dinosaur, potato. I love that. I love that you spelled all that out, Colette. That's so good. And I say all this to say, please don't feel pressured to have to be a member of my channel. I do tons of free videos. Like, I post every single day. So you don't have to be a member to enjoy my content. It's just a perk. It's just an added bonus to what I already put out for the channel. So there's already tons of things that I do for everyone else who watches. So please don't ever feel pressured or feel obligated to become a member. I love everyone who comes to watch, whether you are a member or just a viewer in the bushes. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So I need to let that be known. That's very important to me. So my channel is not made up of just members. I do have plenty of people who are not members who really enjoy the videos and things. So that's really important. I feel like I need to put that out there. Super, super nice. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I'm going to get started on all of my Monday makes and get recording and do all the things. I hope you have a wonderful week. For the members, don't forget, we have a members only live tonight. Please stay tuned for that notification that will be coming up soon. And for the rest of you guys, I will see you guys on the Whipping It with Juan session and Taco Tuesday tomorrow. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you later. Bye.